So I recently got to 60 subscribers, and I would just like to say thank you guys for helping me get to another milestone. It's just always really nice to see that number go up, and I'll make sure to keep getting quality content out to you guys on a regular basis. So let's get into today's story time, and this one is a really recent one. It was on a good old January 11th, the day after my birthday, and I had woken up that morning. It was the day after my party too, because we had just had my party the day of my birthday, and the only people that had been left at my house after the party were me, Seamus, my one friend who we'll just call Dennis, and my one friend Lucas from a few of my previous story times. And I had just gotten up, went to my bathroom, got in the shower. I had to hotbox the fuck out of my bathroom with my tiny bong before I got in. And yeah, I just went through the motions of my morning, gotten out of the shower, went back to my room, sat and just kind of doom scrolled TikTok till more people woke up. And eventually it ended up with Lucas being awake, me being awake, and Dennis being awake. And we had all went to my little brother's room to go smoke together because he wasn't there at all for the weekend. He was still at her dad's house because he still goes there. And while we were all smoking, my one buddy Isaiah hits me up and he asked me what we were all doing, if anyone was still at my house, and I just gave him the rundown of who was left and basically told him Seamus was still asleep, but we were all smoking in my little brother's room, and he asked if he could come over. I said yeah. He told me that he had gotten me a present from while he was out the night before because he had attended the party. He just dipped like at a random part during the night, and yeah, we basically just smoked for a little. He showed up and we all just started smoking together, and he whipped out this fucking pen, and I showed you guys this pen before in another video, but goddamn, this fucking pen was amazing. I still haven't killed it yet, so it has to have like a good like 2 to 5G cart in there, and I'm pretty amazed. And we were all just sitting there smoking weed, hitting off this pen, and we were all getting really fucking faded. And eventually, I started getting really fucking hungry. So I look at everyone, I go, "Does anyone want to go get food?" And they all go, "Nah, I'm all good." Dennis goes, "Yeah, I'm down. Where do you want to go?" I go, maybe McDonald's or like the gas station down the road, the one I always talk about that has really good food." And then I walk back to my room and I wake Seamus up, and the first things I say to him are, "We're going to McDonald's." And I shit you not, he opens his eyes, look back at me, and he just goes, "You know what? Okay." And then he starts getting up, he's getting ready. He was going through my closet for clothes because he didn't fucking bring any extra. And eventually, me, Seamus, and Dennis all departed, and we didn't end up going to McDonald's. We went to the gas station to go get food, and I got into breakfast sandwiches, sausage, egg, and cheese, and they were fucking delicious. But Seamus didn't really want anything from this gas station besides like these two Fiji waters that he bought, and he just told us that he wanted something Dunkin', so we all went to Dunkin' Donuts, and we sat in that busy ass Dunkin' Donuts for probably like 10 minutes just talking, being loud as shit, roughhouse and just being hooligans in general. And we get to the front of the line. We had waited in the entire line, and we'd come to the realization that there were no fucking good donuts left. Like everything was cleared off every single shelf. And we'd come to the realization that we hadn't decided to look at what they had on their shelves at all while we were waiting in the line because we were just dicking off the entire time. And so, everyone in that fucking Dunkin' Donuts just watched us walk out of the Dunkin' in defeat because there was nothing there that we actually wanted, and we just went back to the car and drove back to my house. And when we got back to my house, the three of us proceeded to not get the fuck out of my car at all. We just sat in my driveway out in the car for a good like probably hour and 45 minutes together, just listening to music, sitting in the nice like hot air. We had the heated seats on, and Isaiah's car was not there when we got back. He left. Joe had come over, and I think he was just inside with Lucas smoking the entire time. But essentially us three, me, Seamus, and Dennis, were all just out in my car ripping the fuck out of the pen for like that entire hour 45. And all getting pretty decently faded. And I think you guys know how bad the cottonmouth gets and how good water actually fucking tastes when you have cottonmouth. So all three of us started eyeing up Seamus's two big Fiji bottles, and all three of us are just passing around these bottles just one at a time, downing the fuck out of them. And the way we're talking about these bottles is just like on the borderline sexual talk. Like we're sexualizing the fuck out of these Fiji waters because of how good they are to us. And it's just, it's getting so fucking bad. And we're all just literally chugging down these fucking Fiji waters, and we had to have finished both of them within at least like 30 minutes of us fucking getting into them. And eventually Joe and Lucas came out, checked on us, saw how high we all were, and there was a nice picture they took of me, but can't show that yet because gotta keep my identity private for now. And yeah, eventually they just dapped us up. They both left, and we chilled out in the driveway for a little bit longer, and then I started hitting up my one friend, the good homie Bruce, and I see if he wants to hang out or do anything, and he tells me basically, yeah, we can come pick him up in a little bit, but he wants to like shower, do some stuff first, but he has some really good weed he wants to share with us, and that's like where one of the key plot points to this story is that weed that he wants to share with us. So we go pick him up. He takes like 10 minutes to come outside. He always does every time I go to pick him up. He always takes 10, 15 minutes whenever he says he's going to be ready. And I know he's going to see this, but anyway, yeah, we go and we pick him up. He hops in the car, has a little like goodie bag with him, and I think you guys all know what's in the good homie's goodie bag when he comes to the hangout. So we all went back to my house, went back to my room, and just put on some music and started smoking together. And at first we were just smoking the weed that me and Seamus had bought the day before, and then eventually Bruce takes out the little baggie of weed he has, and he goes, I think this is some like Arizona shit. And we weren't really like pressing him or nothing about the details of like where he got it or anything, but the weed was like a little brown, and I've seen like brown weed before, and so I was just assuming it was really shitty weed. But Seamus and Dennis weren't feeling it, and me being a weed connoisseur, I should have known something was up, and Bruce should have known something was up too, because he's starting to become like a good level trap master. And we all just start grinding this weed up, giving it the benefit of the doubt, because we've all seen some shitty weed in our day, and we all ground it up, and it genuinely looked like weed after we ground it up. So we started smoking with it a little bit, taking some bong rips with it, some G's, and we were all still really decently faded off the pen. So I think that's how none of us noticed that it wasn't real weed, is because we were all hitting my pen, because I'd pass it to Bruce, Dennis, and Seamus a bunch before we had started smoking the weed. Well, not weed, and we all were just smoking a little, not really feeling the weed Bruce brought, so we started smoking a little more of mine again, and then we decided that we didn't want to listen to music anymore, so we started like looking through different movies we could put on, because we were all like really fucking high at this point, and we're looking for stuff to laugh at. And eventually we decided on Deadpool and Wolverine. Fire movie, by the way, and we all just started laughing at that for a little bit. But unfortunately, Bruce's mom is a bit of a party pooper, and we had to drop him off before the movie even finished. Could you believe that shit? Before the movie was even over. And basically we had all just like called it a night after dropping Bruce off, and that's where this part of the story time concludes. But I'd say probably on like Friday of last week, Bruce gave me a call. Like, this was a while after school was out. It was nighttime already at this point, and he was with Alvin, and he basically started explaining to me like, yo, that weed that I brought over to your house, I think it was just like straight leaves like from a tree. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how did you figure that out? And he's like, I kind of just went down to my basement, and I found them in a bag and thought it was weed. And I kind of just should have realized that they might have just been leaves off of a tree. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? We were all just straight up smoking like leaves from a goddamn tree because you thought it was weed. And he's like, yeah, but I got some really good shit now that like me, you, and Alvin should all smoke together. And I haven't smoked with them yet, but I probably should. And yeah, if you guys like today's story time, drop a like, comment, subscribe, and tell me what kind of stories you guys want to see in the future. And my setup will be done here soon, which means higher quality videos, higher quality content. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.